If I didn't mention, I do have a red, white, and blue seat that was custom built by Bob Ellison. And it's sitting in the basement waiting for this project to come around. I've always been planning on using that red, white, and blue seat for this tractor. So for now, I'm just using this white and black 953 1054 seat, and I'm going to work on playing with stance. So now that this is rolling, that's a pretty good feeling. I mentioned that I need to work on stance. I know that the rear tires here, they picked up the rear of the tractor quite a bit. And I kind of like the raked idea because that will keep the nose down a little bit longer, hopefully. I'm not so sure how wild this will be of a ride, being that the cast grill is just that, it's cast iron, so it's good and heavy. Obviously this garden tractor was built to be heavy for ground engaging, and now I'm going to try to make it fast. So the ski is about where it will be, and in relation to the back tires and everything else, I might move it a little further forward. Like I was mentioning with that 606 idea, was to use a swept axle and get those skis further forward. I don't know if I want to go as far as a custom front axle, but having a wider track up front to match the width of this rear end, which is 49.25 inches from outside to outside, I think that would actually help quite a bit. So I'm going to do some thinking on that front end, and maybe even see if I like lowering that front end down a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Before I get all crazy putting them skis on and forget about some basics, I figured I would work on the slightly sloppy steering. So I went through and made sure any joints that I could tighten are tight, but you can see that the steering arm moves long before the spindle. So on this side, I drilled and tapped a 3/8 bolt right in the center line between where the spindle and the steering arm meet. And now it's good and tight. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side, and then if my toe is off at all, I can adjust it with that tie rod. Before I just started drilling and not really knowing how things were going to line up, I just eyeballed my toe to begin with when the tires were straight, and then I used a center punch and punched a few spots, and then my inside here is where I'll drill. So I've got the tractor up off the ground, so I can actually get this spindle a little bit more vertical, and then I've got my pilot drill, I've got my 5/16 tap drill, my 3/8 tap, and a chamfer, and that chamfer helps the tap start in a good clean hole before I actually start tapping.